Everything that we do, everything that we see, everyone that we meet adds to who we are. By staying in that small little circle where you're just doing that comfortable thing, you'll never get those grand experiences that make you a complete person. My name is Michael Ivey, and I grew up in Dunn, North Carolina. My life was a very limited collage. Sitting in the parking lot with a couple of buddies, coming home and working on a fence. If the cows got out, that was the highlight of the week because it was the one thing that was spontaneous. At the time, the Navy's recruiting campaign was, if someone wrote a story about your life, would anyone want to read it? And that resonated with me a lot. I didn't want to sit down and read about putting around in a tractor on a farm. I wanted to do something that made some kind of difference. I sat down with my recruiter, said, "What do you have and leave soon?" He said, "Well, I have BU." I said, "It's a carpenter." "When does that leave?" He said, "About 3 months." "What else you got?" I said, "Well, I've got EO." "What's EO?" I said, "Well, I'm not 100% sure, but it leaves in 10 days. That's what I want." Most people don't know what a CB is. They call us dirt sailors because we don't play around in the water. You think about those guys that are going, they're kicking down doors and they're storming the gates. That's not our job. Our job is to make sure that when those guys finish doing that, they have a roof over their head to sleep under, that they have running water, that they have phone lines that they can call home with. I've spent time in Iraq building ballistic fish tanks. I've built forward operating bases in Afghanistan, building hospital waiting areas in Jamaica. What became far more important than kicking down doors was doing things that enabled people to be safe, doing things that brought people home. When you've gone out and you've done great things and you've experienced victory and you've experienced defeat, then living in this gray twilight where you neither suffer much nor experience much becomes drab. But at the same time, you begin to appreciate how calm that can be. I'm the unit movement officer for an EOD command, and my job, literally, is to bring people home. You start to realize that it doesn't matter if somebody writes a book about me, it's that these guys are getting a chance to come home and read a book to their kids. And I have a direct effect on making sure that that happens. There's an entire breadth of experience, of emotion, of life that you will never be privy to, staying in the tight little confines that you have now. It's like trying to explain to a fish in a fishbowl what the ocean's like. And it's scary making that choice. It's a big choice. But if I could go back and change anything about that decision, I would have only made it sooner.